Hello and welcome to the Open Mic Podcast, hosted by me, Tom Hurst, brought to you by the Richland Source in currently sunny, but always beautiful Mansfield, Ohio. I am very, very excited to be here with you guys today. I am taking over quite the legacy of a podcast that was started by a man named Noah Jones, and I'm thankful to be the next in line to host this wonderful creation of a podcast to talk to you guys about one of my favorite topics. Not just music, but Mansfield, Ohio's amazing, incredible music scene. I didn't grow up here. My family and I moved here in 2015, and quickly after that, I had some cousins we moved up here to be closer with, and they were a part of a church in Mansfield, Ohio. Some of you might know, called City Church, and right in the downtown area. And they used to put on shows on the weekends, and we started quickly becoming a part of that and helping out with those shows. And music has just been a massive part of my life ever since. So the Mansfield music scene has a very special place in my heart, and I am very excited to talk to you guys about it and start having on new guests of local musicians first. Eventually, I'll branch out, but my whole goal is to really show and talk about how special Mansfield, Ohio actually is. It's a great place. I love living here, and I'm very thankful that we ended up moving here. There is a pretty fascinating and incredible lineage of amazing music, amazing bands, legendary bands, and there's a lot of rich history involved in the music scene here locally that a lot of people don't realize. A lot of people don't know. There's some major worldwide songs and acts that came out of here, ones that inspired other world-renowned acts. There are just a lot of really, really good shows and really, really talented musicians currently and throughout the history of Mansfield. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. And this here is just a little intro to, I think, is going to be an incredible podcast. The beginning of, or I should say, rebirthing and re-beginning of already an amazing set of fantastic conversations about music, what inspires people to write music, to play music, how we can grow and change and evolve while being a part of a music scene, while listening to music, how it can affect us, inspire us, and also just connect everybody on a level that a lot of times is unspoken, but we can feel it. It's one of my favorite things, and I hope that as I take you guys along this journey, you guys will understand how special of a place it is that you live in. And those of you listening outside of this beautiful city, hope that it'll encourage you to come downtown, start going to shows, and be more a part of the local Mansfield music scene. To come play shows here if you're traveling through, and just start a band. Everybody should start a band. Every person in the world should play music, and every single person should play a show at least once in their life. It is an experience that will change you forever. It makes you extremely vulnerable, but gives you the most intense adrenaline rush, yeah, that you'll ever have in your life. It's pretty cool, and everybody should experience it. So I hope this will help to strike a passion and get you out of that comfort zone to try it. If you've been toying with the idea of playing an instrument and joining a band, everybody should. Mansfield is, I can't say it enough. I tell people, if you know me, if you've seen me, I've worked at a coffee shop called Relax It's Just Coffee for the last 8 years. And if you've had a conversation with me at a show or at the shop at some point in time, you have probably heard me say that this is the greatest city in the continental U.S. And although I may be being slightly facetious, I really truly do believe that. It is a very special place. It connects every major city, almost every major city, in one way or another in the Midwest. It's a really cool place with a lot of good music. And yeah, I'm going to show you guys that through all this. I could go on and on about it, but I'm going to let the guests that come on here widen your range of vision. Let them scales fall off your eyes if you think this is a terrible place, because you're wrong. Just angry, and you need to listen to some more music, some good Mansfield local music. Especially just coming off of the hype and excitement of the Afronauts releasing their new album. That show was last Saturday right here at Ideaworks. It was phenomenal, to say the least. My goodness, was it a crazy, amazing show. If you missed it, you missed one for the ages. Those kids are stupid talented, and I am very blessed and thankful to know them and to have watched that show. As always, Narrow Arrow, Autopoxy, incredibly, insanely good. Lee, the drummer of Autopoxy, is and has just taken all of Mansfield's shows to the next level with his light production that he is just funding out of his own pocket just because he wants to better the shows, because it's something that's always lacking, is light production. And I mean, honestly, I didn't even really think about it until he did this, and now I can't even believe that it's not happened up until this point, because it was stupid, insanely good. I'm just stupid, insanely good. My gosh. It was an incredible show. If you don't know those bands, listen to those bands. Check out the Afronauts' new album. I'm going to be having them on here at some point in time. They don't know it, but they're going to be on here because they are pretty much a open mic podcast staple and regular, because Noah understood how amazing they are. And if you guys listen to this podcast, you already know. So, yeah, anyway, I've got a lot of things in store and a lot of things planned for this. I want to do a lot of cool interviews. I want to get down to the nitty-gritty of what makes artists tick to write their music, what really inspires them, and I want to try and get some people to do some live performances in here maybe. I want to have every genre possible. I want to have some people on here, not just to talk about music, but talk about the history of Mansfield's music scene. Because like I said before, it is some extensive history, and a lot of people don't know how vast and rich the music scene has been for, I mean, I've been going to shows, like I said, since I was 15, I'm 31. And before me, there was, back to the early 90s, probably late 80s, 70s. I mean, there is an extensive, amazing musical history here, and there's a lot of cool shows that have happened. And I'm going to try and get some people on to talk about that. And I think this is going to be a really fun ride, and I hope that you guys are excited about this as I am. And shout out to No Jones for starting something real cool. And I hope to pick up the ball and run even farther with it. Thank you to Richland Source for giving me this opportunity to yak at you over the interwebs and geek out about the music scene. See what I'm talking about. To come out to shows. Some of the nicest people, some of the most down-to-earth, chillest people you'll ever meet. It's a rich friendship and family of connected musicians that like to jam, like to push their artistry as far as they possibly can. And it's always a good time. The other thing I've realized a long time ago, but I've been thinking about going into this a lot more is there's a lot of pockets of genre-specific music scenes around Mansfield and the surrounding cities. It was like, I think it was a month ago or something. I can't exactly remember now. I went to the Cause, local hip hop group. They had a artist spotlight show, I guess you would say. Kind of reminded me of like a compilation album of various artists where they had, I think it was like 12 or 13 hip hop artists that performed, and each one of them did like 2 to 3 songs. And that was really, really cool. It was a lot of fun. I don't know if I've ever really been to anything like that before, but I knew maybe 1 or 2 of the hip hop artists on that bill. And that just blew me away in itself. I mean, I don't know everything, obviously, but like I said, I've been around for a little while now. And the fact that there's that many rappers that don't even, that don't intermingle with other genres in the scene, that are in their own little bubble. I know there's other pockets of like I said, genre specific artists that shows go on that nobody even knows about, unless you're in that world. And I'd really like to merge those worlds and unify it in some way, if that's possible. I'm all about mixed genre shows. I think there is a lot of fun in bringing those worlds together, getting those crowds together, interacting with each other, because, man, so many different genres of music pull from other genres of music, and you can get inspiration from anywhere. And I think there's a lot of cool things that could happen when you bring those different bands and different groups together. Your fans could like other bands, and you could get new fans that way, and just experience a whole different world that you didn't realize is happening right around you. So I'd love it if you like what you're hearing and this resonates with you, please share it. And I'd really like to get a lot of those people on here that I don't know, because I know a lot of musicians, but this is a vast city and of incredible artists, and I'd like to meet them, and I'd like to start getting them on shows more, and because there's really, in my mind, no reason that music scenes should be separated. Like I said, I'll say it again, and I'll say it again and again and again. Mansfield is a special place. It is a very special place, and it has a special place in my heart. And I think that we could show the world that we have a lot of talent and a music scene that, I mean, man, you could go to major cities, you could go to Cleveland or Columbus, and you wouldn't find a music scene that is interconnected the way ours is, and that puts on DIY shows with the support of major businesses, major news companies. I mean, the support is endless, and people genuinely care. And I mean, shoot, I think I listen to more local bands on a regular basis than I do bands that I don't know that are made mainstream. I might be a rarity, but I mean, I know there's a lot of other people personally that I know that listens to a lot of local music as well. And I just think it's because of how good Mansfield's music scene is. So yeah, I could ramble on all day, and you will probably learn that about me very quickly if you haven't figured that out yet. But that's why I have a podcast, and that's why I'm going to be talking about music, because it rules. And yeah, so if you're interested in being on the Open Mic podcast, hit me up. I started an Instagram. I'm bad at social media, so forgive me and have some patience with me. Bear with me on that, but its Instagram handle is at the Open Mic PDcast. There's a million Open Mic podcasts, but not one about Mansfield music, because it is the greatest city in the continental U.S. with the greatest music scene in the world. Boom. Mic drop, if you will. Yeah, but yeah, hit me up on there. If you're good at social media and you want to help me out with that, let me know, because I'm not, and I'm bad at responding sometimes. So yeah, let's make some really cool shows, and let's talk about some really cool music. Thank you guys so much. This has been the Open Mic Podcast with Tom Hurst, brought to you by Richland Source, sponsored by Two Cousins Pizza Co. and Henry Screen Printing. You need some shirts? Hit up Henry. You need some pizza? Hit up Two Cousins, downtown Mansfield, 103 North Main Street, Mansfield, Ohio. You need some news? Hit up Richland Source. Thank you and have a great day.